If you're looking for intellectual, informed basketball takes and you want to bring in media that knows what they're talking about, look no further than
Come on. It's Fastbreaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the break, it's fast break. We on the break, it's fast break. Let's go.
Yo. What's up? So, we're running a two-man operation today. As our brothers Alan and Farrell are not available this weekend, but that's all right. We're here to hold it down. It's your boy King Dre. On my left, we got Cody Paul, and this is Fastbreaks. I'm not gonna do the whole outlet thing. I'm not Farrell. I'm not gonna do all that thing. I'm just here to say, yo, get us started. And as another, happy Saturday, and we thank you for joining us. As y'all do every Saturday. So, we're lucky to have y'all, and we're happy to have y'all. There's a lot of things that happened. It was the NCAA tournament. Things happened with St. John's. Both Paul and I went to St. John's. Actually, everyone in this podcast is from St. John's at some level, either college or law school. So,
listen. We call it an audible Fast Breaks family. We're going to be biased today. Different. We're going to be biased today with this specific topic.
You'd be surprised. You know what? I'm upset at the Knicks because this would have been if they did something crazy this week, man. This would have been the time for us to say something. But it's okay. It's okay. Instead, we're going to talk about St. John's. We're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to be talking about St. John's. We're going to be talking a little bit about Wemby, just a tad bit, and going a little bit into the MVP race, only to the extent of that as of today, he became the front runner for the MVP race after making comments basically suggesting that he should be the MVP. So that's different. We're also going to touch a little bit. We're also going to touch a little bit on the WNBA cap expansion, just a tad. That's going to be a bigger topic that we want all four guys here to talk about. So we're going to only talk about it briefly. We're going to tap in on that. And then a question for us and the question for everybody: who's the hottest team in the NBA right now? Right? There's a couple names that go out there. I'm thinking of a few. Paul thinks of a few. You guys probably all have your own thoughts on who might be the hottest team right now. But to start things off, like I said before, we're going to start with St. John's versus Duke. Okay, this is Sweet 16. Very close game. Two very well coached teams. That had a lot of success. I believe Duke, going to this, was the best team in the tournament, and they're hailed as such. And I could see why. They had some injuries with who's their main guy? Was it Evan? Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb Foster. Well, he's one of their main guys. The Boozer brothers are really their main guys. But Caleb Foster coming back from an injury in a big moment in a big game turned things around. I saw some things, but Paul, I'm going to start with you. Whatever you saw, let's start there, and I'll take it from there and let you know what I saw.
You see, all right, I'm gonna keep it brief, right?
Do it, yeah, and be as biased as you want. You can be as biased as you want today.
Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, we're honest about this one. All right, we're some Johnnies over here.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But listen, what I saw is in that game is why I don't like college basketball.
Tell me about it.
Them dudes don't want to shoot, man.
Okay. That is one of the biggest things that pissed me off.
Yes.
Because they had somebody that did want to shoot. And he got benched.
Talk about it. Go ahead, man.
Boy, let me tell you something. I saw Ruben play his ass off. All right. I saw him play his ass off for 14 minutes and then get benched. And when we needed shooting, Pitino did not put him in. Now, I trust Pitino. Pitino is a great coach, a legendary college coach.
Legendary, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to be like, I know more than Pitino. I'm not going to go ahead and say that. That's a crazy statement. But there's got to be something he saw in practice. There's got to be something he knew that we don't know. And I'm going to trust that because I can't look down the stretch of that game when we need shooting and be like, it's time to let Zuby Ojefor let it fly. What? Hey, what?
Yeah.
And he had a tough game too. He went 6 of 17 from the field. And those 6, most of them did not come until the second half, by the way. So he had
he played hard. He played hard.
But scoring wise, he did not do well.
Somebody had to listen. I don't see the reason why I think his field goal percentage looks so bad is because he was the only one that really played with confidence and was like could actually score. You know what I mean? Like to me, like I said, what we saw is why I don't like college basketball because it's like nobody want to shoot. Everybody just driving. Everybody playing like RJ Barrett, like just head down, like drive to the rim, try to use your strength or athleticism or both. Right. And try to finish contested layups. Like, I don't like that. That's ugly basketball to me. You know what I mean? And yes, from a basketball perspective, you see basketball philosophy playing out like a lot more in certain cases in college basketball than you do in the NBA because you have more diverse schemes, like more variety in schemes, right? But you see more zone and things like that. But man, listen, man, that was ugly. That was
the end.
If they had
first half was great,
right? But that second half, it's like, and the thing is too, I don't like. Listen, I'm from St. I went to St. John's. I graduated from St. John's.
No, of course.
I don't like when underdogs play into the underdog mentality during a game.
I agree.
Like they literally played like we shouldn't even be here in the second half.
No, 100% right.
They didn't want to shoot. And then you saw Duke, even though the shots, they had Evans, right? Evans, that kid Evans, he's a baller. He's the biggest reason that Cameron Boozer, I don't like his game. I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead.
No. Wait, that's just interesting because I would think Cameron Boozer is someone you would like. Strong, goes to the basket, tough, gets the board. What is it about his game you're not a fan of?
I mean, listen. To me, his game works in college, but when that type of game in the NBA, I don't think it's gonna work out for him so well. He has to develop more skills.
I mean, look who his dad is. So, like, did he really?
No. Wait, hold on. Don't. Carlos Boozer was a skilled player. Hold on.
He was, but don't. When did that start happening?
It happened pretty early. Him and Darren Williams were a problem in Utah.
No, they were, but he wasn't like when he first got there. I think he was more like a pick and roll player, and he had, as time went on, he developed more of those skills.
But see, Cameron Boozer isn't a pick and roll player. Cameron Boozer is a guy that's just driving to the rim.
He's a downhill kind of player.
Yeah, he's like Julius, but like Julius Randle.
Oh, no, I know who you meant. Don't put that on him.
No. Listen, Julius Randle is talented, man. It's just he wasn't made for New York. He wasn't made for New York.
Okay, all right.
He wasn't made for New
Big
York.
lights. Big lights.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But like his game is just like they were playing the defense on him and it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like you got to give credit where credit is due, but it was just like ugly to see. Evans now, that kid, he was just pulling up, one cross, pull up, floater. Like he
shot
mid-range game.
You don't usually see. You don't always see that in the college game.
A lot of players don't have that in their game in college.
Fact.
A lot of players, and that's why I don't like college, because it's a bunch of guys. You will run zone so much in college because a lot of them can't shoot. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't like it. And then St. John's, man, like if they had one guy, just one guy on that court in the last like 5 minutes that could hit a jump shot, we would have beat them.
That's my point, right? That's my point. I'm not Ruben Prey isn't paying me to say this. Okay. I watched the basketball game where I saw that, and it wasn't just open shots. He was hitting contested shots. He had people closing out on him. I don't know how tall he is. He looked like he might have been 6'9", 6'10". The way he was pulling up, he looked like honestly, the shot it wasn't 1-to-1, but there was a stretch of it. I hate to put it like this and compare him, but he looked like Jabari Smith, and how Jabari Smith should be playing most of the time, low key, just being able to shoot over 6'10", strong, straight up, being able to shoot over people. And I saw him do that in the first half, hitting some big shots. I saw him hit one in the beginning of the second half. And then I didn't see him play the game. And he ended at 14 minutes. And that's why I said we see Ejiofor, getting opportunities to go into the paint. And then he started forcing shots. We saw Dylan Darling at the end of the second forcing a terrible shot that I don't even know that's really in his bag like that.
Wait, you talking about the last shot?
Yes.
The three?
Yes.
He kind of.
I know he had to force it. But I don't know. Like, he took 5 threes during the game. He hit 2 of them. So maybe it's sort of in his bag. But like, I don't know that I would consider him a big shot maker outside of that layup he took last game, which wasn't a shot. It was him going down to the basket and getting his business done.
But like, who do they have that's a big shot maker on St. John's?
That's a big question. But why are we in this position where we need I get it. It's a Sweet 16.
It's Duke.
That's what happens. It's Duke.
Yeah.
When you have the thing is, a guy presented himself during the course of the game that could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't necessarily. I'm saying you give him more minutes. Maybe he misses. Let me see him miss a few shots before I say he's not playing the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that mentality. And like you said, it was a big moment, and they played into the underdog role. I actually thought Ejiofor was getting better as the game was going on.
Yeah.
Because the first half he struggled. Second half he starts getting some shots going up. But he's struggling. He's forcing things, and it was not going well for him. And they started, just like you said, they were playing into the underdog role. They started playing into Duke's game. And there was a point where they were up 10. And then they just lost momentum.
Yes. It was a lot of like dumb fouls I remember seeing.
Yes. And I'm like, we're up.
But again, it's college. I don't. That's why I don't like watching college basketball. Like they're young. Well, first of all, they're younger people, but they're not as young as they used to be because of the transfer portal, right? But they're still like all in their like mid to early 20s. So some of them 19. So
yeah, they're kids. They're kids. At a point, it's like when the strategic advantage is lost, which is what ended up happening here.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to tough shot making and players being better. They ended up getting outplayed, which is not how it started. They stuck to a strategy, and it seemed like it almost fell apart. It really did. So I don't know if obviously they don't have an opportunity this tournament to correct that, but maybe that's something to look forward next year. But next year, Ejiofor is gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone. So the team's going to look vastly, and I don't think he's the only senior on that team, by the way.
Well, see, the thing about it is when you have a coach like Rick Pitino and you were just in the tournament in the Sweet 16, you could recruit very well. So like every year is like you can't go year by year. You know what I mean? Like we gotta look at St. John's like how to a lesser extent before people go in. Like how Kentucky and Duke and those guys look like. They just know they're gonna have good guys, even if you don't know who they are yet because they're in high school right now. they're at another college. Right. You got that kid from the Bronx who transferred to St. John's, so you never know what could happen with that.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. It's just
yeah.
I want to see a chip. That's it.
Oh, me too. I think New York teams, New York fans, New York team. St. John's our team, obviously. St. John's is New York's team, so we want to see. But no, forget Syracuse. Forget that. We're not talking about Syracuse. We're talking about St. John's. Oh, I can't. I know. Farrah wants to Q's, so I can't. I'm not trying to hate on them. We got Q's brothers out here. But
went to the two New
York's team. The last thing I'll say, and the only positive spin I'm going to put on this is we haven't been to the Sweet 16 in 27 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So this is the second time, Paul, in our lifetime.
Yes.
Now we can. Well, you know what? Not in our lifetime, but that we can remember. That we can actually remember. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't remember the first one.
I was watching college basketball at 4 years old. I was watching Blue Schools at Barney and SpongeBob SquarePants.
You right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, so future's bright still. Patino's only in what, second or third year with this team?
I think second
year. So there's a bright future. We got far, and I think we're gonna cap it on that. It was a good run by St. John's, and that's how I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
Positive note. Good run by St. John's. In that respect, right? Talking about the future, we're talking about the future being bright, and there's a bright star right now transitioning into the NBA who is really trying to become that guy. And no one should be surprised by the name I say next, Victor Wembanyama. He, as of today, is number one on the MVP ladder. Okay, this comes after him making comments essentially saying, there's two sides of the basketball. There's offense and there's defense, and I don't know if there's a greater defensive player on the planet than me. That was what it boiled down to, right? And he might be right. I think he is. Personally, I think he is the best defensive player on the planet. I think he is probably going to get DPOY, and there's a very good chance he gets the MVP too. His team is second in the West. I'm going to pull up his stats right now just to give you guys an idea of what he's doing offensively. But he's making a case for himself in the fact that he is, number one, they're beating good teams. He's got this team looking efficient and like a well-oiled machine. They're beating good teams. He's doing it in great fashion. He is currently averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's averaging just about 3 blocks and 1 steal. So this is not somebody who's just talking out his neck. This is somebody who is putting his money where his mouth is, and he's producing on both sides of the ball. And he's also doing it in fashion. I feel like there's a Wemby highlight, if not every day, every other day. So, Paul, let me know what you think about a guy like Wemby inserting himself into the MVP conversation and then actually taking over that conversation. And tell me if you think the two events happen to correlate in a way, like him making the comments actually leads to that.
I don't like him selling himself like that.
Hey man, hold on. Tell me about that. Break that down for me.
Listen, I don't like that. I don't like him saying it. You're a player. Your play should say it. Like he's right in a sense of like he was always in the consideration. Right. You know what I mean? But him literally saying it, it's not like you're begging. I don't like that.
To give you a little pushback, I mean, when during this run, during him taking over taking the number one spot, Jokic has the Nuggets looking like they're figuring it out, sort of. I believe they're fourth in the West. Luka has the Lakers looking like they got it figured out. He's averaging 40 points over the last 10 days. 40, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, 48-8. But to both those players, they are only dominating on one side of the ball. And it's very easy, as we know, as we see in dominating headlines, and as we've seen in a lot of media talk, it's very easy for defense to get forgotten about. And that could be because, defense has its own reward. right? There's a defensive player of the year. There's not an offensive player of the year. And in some respects, the MVP kind of gets treated like that. But since it is an all-inclusive award, right, I personally don't necessarily see a problem with him making the comment, only because he kind of is right.
No. Listen.
Tell me.
Listen. He's making valid points, but I don't like him. It's like, all right. It's like if you are at a job and you want employee of the month, and then you go on social media knowing that your boss is gonna see it, saying I should be employee of the month. That's corny. Like if you wanna be employee of the month, you need to go harder if you feel like you're not in consideration. Now, what he's saying in a vacuum is valid.
Right.
It's valid. Now, I'm on the record. If Farrell was here, he would say that I said this, right? I'm on the record. I rate offense more than defense.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So, like, I don't fully agree, but I don't disagree as well, because defense should play a part.
Right.
But to me, I'll go with the guy who's averaging 48 and 8 in the last month and who's been going crazy all year, over the guy who's getting 24, but is really, really good on the defensive end. 24. How many rebounds is he getting?
11.
24 and 11.
24 and 11.
And like is dominating on the defensive end. Like to me,
and he's shooting 35% from three.
That's not saying much.
No, it's not saying much. He's not like a shooter. So 35% is like 50% from the field, 35%. He's almost. He's a little bit away. He's at 50% from the field, 35 from three-point shot, and 80% from the free throw line.
I think he shoots so many threes.
He does.
I think he could hit threes, but I think he shoots so many threes.
He does, but also, like, at a level, it's the same thing I was saying about Ruben Prey before. Who's going to contest him?
Well, if you miss it, you don't got to contest it.
That's only a problem. The point I'm making, actually, is that's only a problem right now. There's going to come a point, because we are seeing a player in Wemby, and this is what I love about him. We are seeing a player that is in pursuit of greatness.
Of course.
And I guarantee you, if Kobe was alive, he would be a Kobe disciple. 100%. This would be a guy that's going. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making phone calls to other not just shooters. He might be making phone calls to the Brook Lopez's of the world, big guys who know how to shoot really well and learn how to get up to that 40% range. I want to be, if he's not doing it yet, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a report that he's doing it in the near future. And the only pushback I'm going to give to you, and this is something I actually had to deal with in my own career. I had a coworker, mentor really of mine, and she was telling me, there's sometimes you got to promote yourself in life. You could be doing all these things. You can, hold on, hear me out here. You can be doing 1,000,001 things, right? But until you promote yourself, the bosses, the people who need to be making these decisions, they might not notice. And I'm going to be honest with you. Personally, I took that advice. I'm going to promote myself. Every year, my firm gives us an opportunity. They call it a self-evaluation. And you're supposed to do that. Some people take it seriously. Some people don't. Last year, I took the opportunity to really sell myself, essentially, and be like, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm this, and that, third. And I can say I have benefited from it. So now looking at the Wemby example, he makes the statement. His play is matching the statement. And as of today, as we're discussing this podcast, or as we're discussing his comments, he's now the number one guy on the MVP ladder. So maybe there is some actual,
that's not
merit to what he's talking about, or to making that kind of move.
That's not good to me, though.
Why is that not good?
Like, okay, in the professional world, I understand that. But in sports, it's supposed to be as merit-based as possible.
But it's professional sports. There's a business side to it, too.
Yeah, but when we're talking about awards and things like that, it's supposed to be as merit-based as possible. Supposed to be.
Right. Now, my question was, is it not merit-based? When you look at a stat line like he has, right?
I don't know. I think they're putting him there because he said it and it's good for the narrative.
You don't think he's
first of all, right? How do you determine who's at the top of the leaderboard with MVP voting? How do they figure that out?
That's a great question.
Like, who determines this? Are you going around interviewing all the voters every few weeks and asking them who you're going to vote for?
Well, I think on the it's the Kia MVP ladder, and I think they are taking polls because they do like update the ratings once a week. So there probably is a poll. I'm not sure all the determining fact. You got me out here talking like you got me sound like what's his name? Isaiah. Oh my god. Why am I Detroit?
Oh, Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah Thomas, thank you. I'm blanking right now. I'm very tired. You got me out here talking like Isaiah Thomas. I knew the criteria. I didn't know the criteria.
No, what he said? He said, I fit the criteria.
I fit the criteria.
Like
I'm not sure who made the determination.
Yeah,
but
something
I fit
like
the
that.
criteria.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
Criteria. Yeah. I want to know who's fitting the criteria. Who's determining the criteria? Is it Isaiah Thomas? Is it former players and former coaches? Is it media personnel? Is it the players?
See, all right. As far as the criteria, I'm not going over that again on this podcast. We've had many debates about the criteria for MVP and all of that versus all NBA, all of that, right? But I'm just saying, how is there a leaderboard for something that you're gonna like? Unless you're interviewing the voters consistently, how do you determine the leaderboard? You find out when it's time to vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know who's in. And then here's the thing too, like it's easy to look at the stats and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just tell them that I voted for Wemby right now. Like he could get my vote right now, but like I don't like these leaderboard stuff with MVP. I don't like it. Like he's there right now because he's at the top of the MVP conversation. Luka is not.
Mm-hmm.
Shea is not. There's a little Shea fatigue going on right now. There's a little SGA fatigue going on.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, it's like you've been talking about him so much in the MVP conversation for so much of the year that now that it's like the end of the year almost, we don't want to talk about him anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? And Jason Tatum came back. Right. It's like that. There's so many people. Like Wemby was in the conversation, but he wasn't at the top of the conversation. So now that he said this, it's easy to just put him at the top of the conversation. I know for a fact he's not winning the MVP. They can put him there he's not winning the MVP. He's not getting it over Luka. Because when these voters sit down and look and say, okay, who do I believe deserves the MVP right now? Right? He's not gonna get it over Luka. I don't think he's gonna get it over Jaylen Brown because of the points per game. 24 is like 24 points is not that crazy. You know what I mean? Like it makes you a top player, but MVP. If that's the case, Jalen Brunson should be MVP consideration. You know,
but this is his point, and this is my point as well.
The defense.
The defense. He is the most impactful defensive player on the planet. And in fact, isn't there something to be said when the most impactful defensive player on the planet is also one of the top offensive players on the planet?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, you could take Jokic, you could take Luka, you could take SGA, and you could say, well, they are. I would say the offense has to be so supremely like overpowering over everything Wemby is doing. It's not like he's averaging 12, 11, and 3.
Yeah.
It's 24, right? Yeah. If going out, I got to double check the numbers, but I think obviously Luka's on a crazy burner right now. But I think overall he's probably averaging 31 or 32. Shea is probably in the same range. And if I had to guess, I would say Jokic is probably at the 28, 29 mark. None of them are averaging the same amount of blocks. None of them are averaging the same amount of steals. And the only one that's averaging close to the same amount of rebounds is Jokic. Mm-hmm. So if the only thing they're doing better than him is scoring, but he's filling out, well, probably assists too, I take it back, because all of them are probably more assists than him. But they're all guards, with the exception of Jokic, who is a point center, right? If if he's doing pretty much everything else better on the basketball court, shouldn't he be considered better than them? Shouldn't he be considered the top MVP candidate, especially when his team is solidly number 2 in the West and probably number 2 or 3 in the power rankings overall?
See, okay. That's why I said he has a valid argument, but at the same time, defense is not worth more individually than offense to me. Think about it.
Sure.
Think about it. And I think that's the case for most people, right? But think about it. If you have a solid, all right, let's say you have a 5-man on the court, right? Like you have a starting lineup, right? You have 2 teams playing each other, and it's a starting lineup, right?
Sorry, Paul.
And let's say there's
just one last thing, just one last tidbit to give it to you. That 24 isn't in 40 minutes. He's doing it in 29 minutes. I don't know if that impacts what you're saying, but keep going.
Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. But
that's crazy. 0.8 points a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy. But okay. It's not 8 points a minute.
0.8.
Oh, 0.8. I was about to say, like, oh, okay. But anyway, okay, you have 5 players on a team, right? On both teams, right? And there's no bench, right? Both teams, the 4 supporting players on the court are equal to each other. They're both decent, right?
Right.
But one team has a superior talent defensively, but he's an offensive liability. And then another player, the other team, their best player is a supreme talent offensively, but a liability defensively. Mm-hmm. Who's the better team? That's why I say individually.
Wait, I gotta ask. In this particular scenario, which by the way is not a 1-to-1 scenario, is what's happening here.
It's not. I'm going to the extreme to make a point. Yeah.
No. I get what you're saying. So in those extremes, are we saying that the defensive liability and the offensive liability are collectively the number 1 guys in their squads?
Yes.
Can the defensive liability be clamped by the offensive liability in your scenario?
He's clamped by everybody. He's an offensive liability.
No. Can the defensive liability get clamped by the offensive liability?
The defensive liability can't score, so he's clamped by everybody.
Oh, yeah, no.
He's whacked on the offense. You see how I'm saying? You see how I'm saying?
Everyone.
Like he's look, he's superior defensively, but I can still call him whack because he can't score. This game is about buckets.
Nah, you're right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
right. No. But
yeah.
But so to that point, right? I think by your example, I have to give it to Wemby because just hear me out on this, right?
Okay.
All of those guys are a defensive liability to not just Wemby, but to their entire team, to all of basketball. None of them can guard a trash can. Not one.
Brown can.
But he's not in the conversation.
How's he not? You see, these MVP.
That's what I'm saying. If give you the rankings, right? Let me pull up the exact MVP ladder so you have the idea of where everybody's sitting right now.
If the Knicks don't pass the Celtics in the seeding, you're telling me Jaylen Brown is not going to be ahead of Wemby in the MVP conversation?
He could.
I find it hard to believe.
So right now, Wemby, number 1. Shea, who's averaging 31.5, 4 rebounds and 6 assists, is number 2. Jokic, who is averaging 27, 12, and 10, that's crazy, is number 3. Luka, who's averaging, 33, 7.8, and 8.3 assists, is number 4. And Jaylen Brown's number 5, averaging 28, 7, and 5.
So here's the thing, right?
Right.
Forget Jaylen Brown. Shea is not a defensive liability. He could play good defense.
He's not food.
He's not. Well, sometimes he looks like food, but like against most teams, he doesn't look like. He's
scheming for free throws. Keep going.
Well, okay, all right.
Let me stop. I respect Shea. I actually respect Shea. I respect Shea's actual game, not the free throw merchant stuff, but his midi game, his pull up game, his ability to get to the rack, all that I respect deeply. Please continue.
Yeah, but He had to put that disclaimer. But yeah, like I don't think he's gonna get the nod over Shea. Over like there are defenders in there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And 24 and 11 is not gonna listen. I get it. He's gonna end up being arguably the greatest defender to ever play this game.
Yeah, without
like,
a doubt.
I literally think he's gonna be the greatest ever on the defensive end. But offensively, right now, he's really talented and it's hard to guard. I just think he's only getting 20. First of all, you said he's getting 24 points in 29 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If he played 35 minutes, then what? And then I think that the Spurs are underutilizing him too.
Well, that's the idea,
so,
right?
That's why I think he's getting 24 and 11. At 24 and 11, even with superior defense, I don't think they're gonna give that to him. They're gonna give it to somebody else who might not have the defensive stats, but who is impactful unequivocally on the defensive end, like a Jaylen Brown and Shea to a lesser extent.
Right. That's a very fair point. We'll come back next week and give who our actual predictions for the MVP races. I just thought it was interesting to add this in there because of the timeline. He makes the comments, he gets it, and I hear what you're saying, but I can't look past the defense, and I can't look past the impact in only 29 minutes. He's playing 10 minutes less than, at a minimum, 10 minutes less than each of his other contemporaries. And he's impacting how many other categories of the game. In fact, I take it back, not just categories of the game. He is a whole game changer on two ends.
See, that's why it's impressive what he's doing. But at the same time, the MVP award doesn't go to the person who's just impressive in limited minutes or something like it goes to really the top offensive player most of the time, and the defense plays a part kind of. So it's like,
well, so that
and then Pharaoh, if he was here, he would say it goes to the person with the best narrative. So,
well, that's what I was going to say too. There's a narrative aspect, and I think compared to the rest of these guys, he also might have a better narrative.
Who, Wemby?
Yeah, third year player
because he's begging for the award. I don't like that, man.
That part does hurt the narrative. That part does hurt. That part does hurt the narrative. But he is a guy. I
think it helps the narrative.
You think it helps the narrative? How?
Because now he's in the top of the leaderboard because everybody's paying attention to him, right? And like the Spurs are, first of all, the Spurs turned it around, right? They weren't the number 2 seed last year, right? Now they're the number 2 seed, right?
Right.
That helps the narrative. When you literally watch when we play, it looks like you're watching like an alien on the court, right? Like it looks crazy.
He is quite
literally all the highlights. Yep. All the highlights. That helps the narrative. Now he's saying I should be the MVP. Now people are like, oh, word?
You got it.
Now they're gonna watch more. You know what I mean? So now, see, that's.
Well, can I ask one final question about this?
Yeah.
Is that obviously it's to a lesser extent because he's just talking about, the MVP for this season. But isn't this akin to the example LeBron James set up over a decade ago, where he said, I'm the best player ever, and people started taking that seriously.
We already get comments on TikTok when people say we inserted LeBron James where they shouldn't, or he doesn't belong in the conversation. I'm not going there with that one.
Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong, and I'll pull back.
Is it akin?
Is it akin? Is this not the example? And this isn't Wemby's not the first. Scale. I'm sorry?
On a smaller scale, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the first guy. I remember years ago when Ben Simmons did this, his whack ass talking about he should be the defensive player of the year. Y'all remember that? Come on.
Oh,
man. Come on, man. You remember that? You remember that.
I don't like people begging. You know what I mean? Like the only time I really let it rock was with Dave with the All-Star game. But then even that got to a point because he got burned multiple times with the All-Star game. And then it was like people started to say, okay, like we're tired of this guy begging for it. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I hear you.
I don't like that. Let your play talk. You know what I mean?
So,
if you want to talk on the court, which Wemby does to an extent. But.
Right. So to that extent, and we'll transition here. I think there's obviously merit to bring voice to an issue, to bringing awareness to an issue, and that issue, creating a certain kind of change. And Wemby obviously was able to self-actualize that by taking over the MVP leaderboard. In a better example, or maybe a more positive example for our purposes here, recently there has been a new CBA agreement for the WNBA, right? Mm-hmm. Which now expands the salary cap to $7 million per team. And now players like Aja Wilson, and we're seeing other players as well, other WNBA veterans and superstars who were making, I'm looking at one, right? The minimum salary veteran salary, $78,831 $78,831 a year is now projected to go up to $300,000 a year. Now, of course, that is not a one-to-one. It does not necessarily represent everything that these women deserve for their great play. But it is, in my opinion, certainly a step in the right direction. So let me know if, and we're going to only touch on this. This is another big topic we're going to go through when we have the whole crew here. But let me know if you have any initial thoughts on that, Paul.
I think based on the rise of the WNBA that we've seen recently, like we knew this was coming. It's deserved. 300,000. Like when you think about that, now you can women don't have to go overseas now necessarily to make a living.
Here.
Yeah. That's a big deal. So, and then like I said, like the WNBA is rising, so a lot of those players are gonna get deals, endorsement deals. That's more money. So, listen, I'll say this, right? There's a lot of people that say nobody watches the WNBA.
Well, that's not true either anymore.
That's not yeah. You said
that hasn't been true for a long time.
Okay. Okay. You said anymore.
No, that's not true anymore. Realistically, it's never actually been true. They've been getting viewership for years, but the numbers are becoming a little bit more mainstream. And honestly,
for a fact. Yeah.
And honestly, I hate to say it, but they got to get the casuals in here. They got to get more of the casuals in here to start watching.
Listen. This is what I say, right? To those who are naysayers still in the WNBA, I think you have to start to just give credit where credit is due. Like we know, like here, like we got a huge Liberty fan who went to like every Liberty playoff game in New York, who's a part of the podcast. So we support that, right? But we support that. But
we're gonna, and Fastbreaks, the podcast, is probably gonna be at a Liberty.
Hey, we have internal talks. Don't reveal that to the public, man. Come on.
I said probably. It's not.
You're talking too much. High chance. You're talking
too much.
You're talking too much. But anyway,
no, I didn't even say which one. Relax.
Oh my gosh. Listen, all I'm gonna say is things take time. The league is growing.
Yeah.
And I think this is just a positive. Nobody should have anything negative to say. It's clearly well deserved. The naysayers that talk about how like the money just isn't there, and we see that there's money there.
There's money there.
At least at this level, at least at a 300,000 minimum per year. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the veteran minimum.
That's what I'm saying. At a minimum, there's 300,000 a year.
Asha's going to be eligible for up to 1.4, which, by the way, she took a pay cut to make sure her team could afford, right? And that pay cut brought her down to two. I'm looking at the number now. Brought her down to. Oh, this doesn't make sense. She was in your team. No. Hold on. I was saying it brought her down to just under $250,000, right? Which is nowhere. She, for the record, has three WNBA titles, 4 MVPs. She was a number 1 overall pick in 2018. She's averaging 21, 9, and 2. I mean, this is a player. If she was in the NBA, she'd be making at least $50 million. She had to take a pay cut for $249,000. And now she's eligible for 1.4, which again does not seem fair, but it is a sizable increase.
That's what I'm saying. Like, fair, not fair, it's business, man. Like, there's a lot of people that ignore that. Like, it's a business. You know what I mean? You can't look. This is why I don't compare the WNBA and the NBA when it comes to salary. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's not comparable, right? It's almost like two different sports, right? But it's a step in the right direction. It's life-changing, actually, for the woman.
Yeah,
literally life-changing. So
going from 78 to 300,000, going from 249,000 to 1.4, that's a lot.
Put that in,
and they can still get endorsements too, by the way.
Imagine that in real life. If you're making 70,000 and then you go up to 300, that's life-changing. So it's huge. It's a step in the right direction. I got nothing but like just props. Congratulations to the Players Association of the WNBA.
No, it's huge. And this is the good work they need to be doing.
That's a fact.
This is the good work they need to be, and they're doing it, obviously. I want to see how this increases over the next few years. And I hope it does. I hope this is not the last bit of news we get out of these agreements creating these kind of increases. I would love to hear them in 2 or 3 years from now. I don't know if we're going to get there, but in 2 or 3 years, let's try to get them to 10 million.
Well, see, one thing I'll say, right, is the WNBA doesn't have this issue that the NBA has when it comes to competition, intrigue, drama.
Right.
Farrell talks about this, right? Like, they don't have that issue. So if that continues to, as the competition and the narratives continue to progress and grow, then there's going to be more money there for them in the next CBA. So
I'm saying,
you know,
I got you.
What is this man want us to talk about Kawhi for?
Because he thinks Kawhi, you know what it is?
Are you a Clipper fan or not?
He's still stuck on that. He's still stuck on that 1 to 2 day period where the Clippers were the hottest team in the NBA, which brings me to my final question. Who is the hottest team in the NBA right now? Because, like I said in the beginning, you think of a couple teams, you think of a couple names, and everybody's got a different answer for this. If you ask me today who the hottest team in the NBA is right now, I'm going to say the Spurs because they're on a 7-game winning streak. But you had your own – we were talking about this before. Who do you think it is right now, and tell me why?
Okay.
Oh, and also tell me what we need to be watching because maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Okay.
To me, the hottest team is not simply just a team that's on a win streak. Like when you start to get to like a 10-game win streak, I think you could really claim that hottest team, right? And then you can't just be beating up on bad teams too in that 10 games. But the Charlotte Hornets only lost like 6 or 7 games.
I gotta pull up their record right now.
Pull it up. The Charlotte Hornets are real. They are legit.
They're real.
The only thing that's stopping them right now is their youth and lack of experience. That's it. They play hard.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I told you. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing, man. Like
you said since when? You said since when?
January.
When in January? The All-Star break or past that?
No, before. Yeah. I think like January 1st or something like that.
All right, hold on. So I'm going from January. I'm on January 2nd.
Okay.
They lose to the Bucks. They win the next day. They beat the Thunder on January 5th.
Yes.
Hold on.
Just count the L's. It's not a lot.
All right, hold on. Let me count the L's. All right, so starting from January 2nd, they got 1, 2, 3. They obliterated the Jazz, 150 to 95. Yo, yes. Why are they moving like this? 4, 5, 6,
So what space you're taking in between? There's a bunch of like W's in between. I'm telling you.
I said 6, right? 7.
Yeah.
Their next loss didn't come until February. So they from second week of January till February.
Yes.
It was against the Pistons, who were on a streak at that time. So we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. They lost recently against the Suns March 8th. 11. 12 against the Spurs on March 14th.
I think they said they had the best record since like January or something like that.
No, I believe it. They've lost only 12 games since January 2nd. That's still crazy. They've played a lot of basketball since then.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like 20. No, how many weeks are there? That's like 20 games. That's like 25 games. I'll count right now. Hold on. Let's see how many games there are. There's 2 per thing. I'm dead flabbergasted. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35. What day are we on? 37, 39. Yeah. They played a lot of basketball. They played 39 games. I lose you?
I'm trying to show you.
So 12, they've lost 12 games since January. They played 39 of them. That puts them at
you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? The Hornets.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. No, 40, because they just beat the Knicks too. So they have won 28 games. 28 games out of the last 40.
Yeah, and they're 17-6 since February 1st. It's not January, since February.
Okay.
Right. So to me, the Hornets are up there.
But you think that makes
the
them
Spurs been going crazy?
The Spurs
See,
are
I think it makes them real good. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's real because when the playoffs, they have been trash. You know what they're doing? They're doing what the Pistons did last year.
Yeah.
They do what the Pistons did last year, where they were whack, and then all of a sudden now they're like respectable, right? Mm-hmm. And I think next year they're going to be a top team in the East. So
they're one piece away. They might just be one good piece away.
I don't even know if they're one piece away. I think they got it. Now, the question is, do we believe in LaMelo? This is the first time LaMelo's playing winning ball in his career for a season. And it's the first time he's been this healthy, too. That's another thing Farrell talks about. Like,
he's very healthy right now. He's very healthy.
So,
I don't know. Con Knuckle. Look at this guy. Hold on.
Now checking out the stats, like, no, he's different. He's different. But now checking out the stats, the Spurs are 23-2 since February 1st.
Right.
They have lost 2 games.
Right.
Since February 1st.
I believe one of them was to us, and the other is to the Thunder.
And then the Thunder are 20-5. So since February 1st. So there's levels, right? Like, I think I just want to give love to the Hornets because like people need to watch the Hornets. And they're gonna be the playoffs, right?
Did you just pull up that stat? Did you just pull up record since February 1st? Because I want to see the Lakers record.
Okay.
Hold on.
The Lakers record since February 1st is 19-8.
So then what are we talking about? All right, keep going.
Because they're on the win streak, that's why.
Because they're on a 2-game winning streak.
Well, before that 2-game winning streak, they were on a win streak. So they won like 8 in a row, something like that. Listen, man, we're not talking about the Lakers this episode.
No, we're not. That's my point. That's my point.
We're about the Lakers this episode, man.
You know what I'm saying?
This is all the love the Lakers got this episode. But
Only
anyway,
love.
but yeah, the Spurs have to claim the throne. I take back the Hornets. The Spurs are the but I want to give it up to the
That's
Hornets
what I'm
because they've been crazy.
But that's my point, though. So they're you. What was that? You said 28-2,
23
23-2
since February 1st.
I don't know. Going back to our earlier conversation, it's crazy for me to turn around and be like, this guy is playing 29 minutes a game. And he's got them looking like the greatest team ever assembled. What's going on? You know what the
Thunder's record is since that time?
I'm sorry?
You know what the Thunder's record is since February 1st?
You just said 20-5.
And they started off the year as like they're the number one seed, aren't they? Are they not?
Yeah.
Shay's over there. So that's like that. Listen, man, like
which is better, 23-2 or 20-5?
Yeah, but that's since February 1st. It's a season-long MVP. Is a season-long.
No, I understand, but don't forget, and people are forgetting this. Wemby started off the season injured.
Yeah,
and he had some injuries to start, and he had some injuries up until January. It sounds to me, if you're asking me, and as an objective observer, it sounded to me the second he healed up, it was belt to ass for everybody.
Okay, yes, but my whole point is the award is not on just being impressed by what they're doing.
But it should be the guy that's better than everybody else that season.
Is he better than Shea this season?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
On the defensive end,
I mean, sure, but how many points? He here's the thing. He only averages 3 blocks. Sure. How many shots?
Wait, that's not only. That's a big deal. Actually.
No. I know. That's a big deal. How many on top of those 3 is he just a deterrent for? How many guys are about to go dunk? They see Wemby from the corner. They say, forget that. Someone go hit this corner shot real quick. I don't know if you can make it or not, but I know what happens if I go to the rim. I know for damn sure I'm not making if I go to that rim.
Man, SGA is averaging 31.
I know what he's averaging.
7 on 55% shooting.
He's
second in the league in scoring. To Luka. I know. And I get. Listen, I get what you're saying about Wemby, but I cannot. I can't give it to Wemby, man. Like you gotta get the
I'm not trying to convince you. I just want to hear the argument, and you said it before. I just can't.
There's an argument for a fact.
There's no for sure. But this last thing, when we have to go back and forth and be like, is he justified? And we ended on like who's the hottest team in the NBA, and it's his team because of him. I'm just saying. Because we had other people in this chat that were talking about other hot teams in the NBA to do the same thing. To point at that guy.
But what does hot mean? Hot means that you are playing the best right now.
Correct.
MVP is a season-long award.
Okay.
That's my whole point. Like
that's fair.
See, here's the thing, right? People look at the MVP and they look at it like a okay. That's why I have a problem with the narrative thing when it comes to the MVP, because the narrative, the hottest narrative is the one that's gonna, or the most intriguing narrative is the determining factor of who gets the award, right?
Sure.
That would definitely be Wemby. There is SGA fatigue. I can't now, though, in good faith, say for a season-long award that Wemby is more impactful on the best team or whatever criteria you want to use than SGA is on his team. Consider this, Jalen Williams has been out.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
He's been out.
That's
They're the number one seed. They are relying more on him and Chet than they did last year, even when he
which was, by the way, Jalen Williams came out of nowhere. The plan was always Shea and Chet.
Exactly.
So this is they're playing they're playing actually. That's the thing that people forget. The plan was always Shea and Shaq.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams came in and just was like inserted himself, and they're like, "Oh, we're unstoppable."
That's why they won the chip, because now they got Jalen Williams along with those.
That's like not like adding Kevin Durant to the Warriors, but like that like we didn't even need this guy to beat you. We just did it.
That's like
just did it to do it.
That's like adding Iguodala to the Warriors.
That's like adding Iguodala to the Warriors for facts.
Yeah.
For facts.
Yeah, but yeah, like I'm still gonna give the nod to SGA and Jaylen Brown over Wemby.
Jaylen Brown's not even he's not in the top 3 of that conversation right now.
I don't care what they say on all these leaderboards, man. When these people sit down and listen, if the Celtics remain at second, I'm telling you, he's going to get a lot of MVP votes because the Pistons have cooled off. Mainly because of Cade. We wish Cade well. We want him to get healthy.
That's a terrible, and we're seeing this as Knicks fans. Like,
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's tough.
That's a fact.
Nothing but prayers, my boy.
That's a fact.
Listen, I might not be happy with the Pistons, but I got none but respect for Cade. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. That's a fact. But they kind of came down to earth a little bit. They're still winning games, but they came down to earth a little bit. So if the Celtics remain at second, you telling me Jaylen Brown's not gonna the way the Celtics are playing right now is Jaylen Brown seems still.
Yeah.
We're just saying him there. You know what I mean? I don't know how long that's gonna last. That's something we gotta talk about next week. But Jaylen Brown is still playing like an MVP candidate. And he's been doing that for like 80% of the year. So I can't ignore that. That's what I'm saying. I can't ignore that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Remember, I again going back to our conversations last week, I thought y'all were tripping when
I know
all these players are better than Jaylen Brown. I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about?
Yep.
You gave this guy the hot seat for 1 second.
I'm standing on everything I said too, because MVP doesn't mean you're the best player in the league. It doesn't mean,
I know.
Okay.
Best player in the league or not, there none of the names that you told me, with the exception of maybe Devin Booker, maybe are better than Jaylen Brown. But that's a different conversation. Hey, listen, this out the mud. No, let's stop.
What? This out the mud. You got my trauma.
Hold on. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up where we want to be. We're doing the 2-man today, so we're not going to hit y'all with a long episode. We gave y'all enough to think about. Let us know in the comments this week. This is going to be me versus Paul, who's the top potter of the week. All right. Looking ahead of the game. Actually, I'm going to give it to Paul because Paul came in this game and was going crazy. So my guy might take it. But looking ahead for next week, let us know who y'all are thinking of the game of the week should be. I'm going to take a quick look at the slate.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
I feel like this week with the NCAA tournament happening, they didn't put some of the crazier matchups on purpose.
They probably scheduled it like that.
We got Spurs versus Bucks today. Who cares? we got Knicks versus Thunder. That's my pick, obviously. We got Knicks versus Thunder tomorrow, and we got Warriors versus Nuggets.
I don't want to watch the Warriors play basketball right now.
What?
I don't want to watch the Warriors play basketball right now. Not even gonna lie to you.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little. I watched it the other day. That was sad.
Yeah.
Pods is doing this thing though. Pods is doing this thing.
He's a problem.
He's going when Steph gets back and realizes like, oh, this you? Hold on.
No, I think they still need more. Like that.
No, they do.
Yeah.
They need, but they got more. They got Jimmy Butler coming off an injury next year.
I guess.
We got Knicks Rockets. We got Knicks Rockets on Tuesday. We got a lot of good Knicks basketball this week.
If the Pistons were healthy, then Pistons Thunder would have been a good one.
When do we got Pistons Thunder? What day?
Monday.
Did I miss it?
No, but Cade isn't healthy, so
yeah. Oh, it is national. Okay. We got Lakers. We got Thunder is getting the smoke with everybody this last stretch. Thunder is literally getting the smoke with everybody. They got Lakers. Huh?
As they should.
So let us know. I'm pulling for that
Cavs
Isaac
Lakers.
Rocket. What day is that?
That's the 31st. That's Tuesday. It's a late game too, and it's Tuesday.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about I wasn't trying to do a late game. We got work and whatnot. I was thinking of the Knicks Rockets that night. I will be watching that regardless. But that's what we're thinking of. Let us know in the comments what y'all want to see as the game of the week. Let us know. Let us know who the Potter of the week is. And I think for right now, that's it, Fast Breaks family. But we appreciate y'all for joining us for this week's episode. We'll catch y'all next week with the full squad. And until then, be easy.
Next week we back.
We back.
Come on. It's Fastbreaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Trey, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break. Throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break. Throw me the outlet.